Hello everyone, it's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to go over this article that I first saw on Pastor G. Craig's ministry page. So it's from insider.com and it was written on July 12th, and it's talking about moms who went through C forever breakups, saying solo parenting is much easier. For some, it feels like a cheat, whatever. So seems like they interviewed two mothers that were married before, and I believe they got divorced. Well, C Forever put a toll on their relationship or whatever, or exposed the cracks in their relationship, and they're no longer together, but they're co-parenting. Well, I believe one is co-parenting. Let's see what this article says. So when C Forever began, Chelsea Wiley never expected that her marriage to her high school sweetheart would implode. But endless hours spent in quarantine made it clear the couple wasn't seeing eye to eye on parenting. So the parenting thing, that's where the crack was. Wiley, the mother of a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old twins. Let's pay attention to the age of the children. Now they're interviewing her. Said she tries to parent from a place of emotional awareness, but it became clear that her then husband operated from a top-down, my house, my rules mindset. And this is the thing. Something like this was supposed to be discussed in dating, but then again, they were high school sweethearts. I'm sure they didn't even know to discuss something like that. But this is something that's very important, because this is a foundational belief. Parenting, politics, religion, these things you need to know where the person stands, where the person's mentality is, to see if you're going to mesh, to see if you're going to come together. So that is the problem. So they were high school sweethearts. Obviously, they was head over heels in whatever lust, whatever love, whoever, whatever. But they never discussed it. And then this C Forever showed, hey, this is how he really parent. This is how she really parents. So that's where the thing is. These things, you have to discuss them in dating. So skim through this. So they started to feel like roommates, and by October 2020, they were totally emotionally separated, and then they were not living together. So before the separation, she was probably horrified because she was doing it with him, and then now she's gonna be, in a sense, left with the majority of the task of taking care of the children. Worries was about meal prep and laundry and different things like that. But when she and her daughters, also I guess she have only daughters. So when she and her daughters moved into their own home, that's another thing to take into consideration. Wiley found that co-parenting with her ex was in fact easier. She could set clear rules, and because you have your household, he has his own household. Of course, it's going to be easier. So every week is different. And then they talk about, how this C Forever has affected the divorce rates. It also remains to be seen. So I guess the C Forever people know it probably has affected the divorce rates, but they don't have any hard data yet. So I'm sure somebody's working on it right as we speak. The rest of it is just like people saying other things. But this is the thing with, what is her name again? what is it? Chelsea Wiley. First of all, Chelsea Wiley has a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, two 3-year-olds. So you for you to be given of advice about solo parenting, you have not. This is the thing with me. You have not gone through enough. You know, it hasn't been. It just happened. It just happened. So you haven't gone through enough to give people this advice because somebody might be on the fence of, it's not working. And maybe they haven't gone to therapy yet or whatever. They just see that, hey, other people left their marriage and it looked like it's working out for them. I'm going to do a thing. And then they fall on this article, and then Chelsea is saying that, hey, it worked. It worked for me. And then look at this. She was able to move into her own home. So obviously she probably got, a good settlement, maybe from the divorce. Maybe she had money set aside that she was able to do that. But many people don't have that privilege. Some people have to go back with their parents. Some people have to live with a family member. Some people sometimes have to live like in somebody's home or whatever. So that's another thing that you could listen to everybody's advice, but you have to be aware that some people's situation won't work for you. It won't work for you. And yeah, so this is the thing, older women was supposed to be teaching younger women. But a lot of the older women, many of them were focused on their careers and stuff like that, getting their bag and get degrees. So many of them don't even have a home, so they can't even teach younger women. And some of them, they do have the home, but it's like they run it. Many of them run it. And the ones who have a home is healthy, they are overshadowed by the loud ones out there, the ones that are louder and more out there in the public. So older women who have went through years, who have went through this, their kids they went through their kids to elementary, middle school, high school, because solo parenting is not easy. It is not easy at all. That's why anybody, if your marriage is worth saving, every marriage is worth saving, but sometimes some marriages are not, because they were never supposed to happen in the first place. Some marriages was never supposed to happen in the first place. But anyway, if your marriage is worth saving, you should do as much as you can to save your marriage so that you can raise your children. Because when both parents are raising their children and both parents are on the same page, you would tend to raise better and healthier kids. When you're on the same page and you have the same goal, we want to raise children to be, healthy adults, to be assets, then you will tend to see more success. The person that they interviewed was Sarah Elwood. So she was already co-parenting this story, and she was married before, and she has 2 daughters, 5 and 3. This is the next one, 5 and 3. So we're interviewing people with younger kids that just started, so you haven't really gone through a lot of stuff to be given advice. You can say, hey, this is, that part, we were high school sweethearts and stuff like that, and then this see forever put a toll on our relationship or expose things in our relationship, and we could make it. But to be talking about solo parenting and you have smaller kids, you haven't gone through enough. You haven't gone through, because there's something that's called middle school, high school, college, and then come back and say, this is how it worked out. This is what I've learned. This is what happened. This is what my children learned. This is what my children taught me. This is what co-parenting taught me, solo parenting. That's when you could be interviewed and give your advice. Sarah Elwood, she already had 2 daughters from a previous marriage, and then the second marriage she had a 2-year-old son, and that's so the See Forever, another one exposed there the cracks or the holes in the relationship. One thing that she noticed that her husband's relationship was different from the relationship that he has with his daughters, because maybe that the daughters are not really, that's his like stepdaughters, and the son is his actual daughter. But then of course that's another thing. So hey, if you love me, you accepted me, I already came with 2 kids, why are you treating them differently? But this is the thing, these are things we should be looking out in dating. This is the thing, in dating. So sometimes where everything goes wrong, and then 2, 3 years, 5 years down the line, and we can't make it, we have to get a divorce, we have to get separated, because we did not date correctly. We did not ask the right questions. We did not pay attention to certain behaviors and certain actions. And this is why. Because I'm sure he probably was showing some signs that he wasn't that very close with them, or wasn't too welcoming, maybe, I'm trying to find a word, to these girls. Maybe he was showing displaying behaviors that showed that he maybe felt some type of way about the girls, and she didn't like that, so she was out of there. It's easy to just drop it sometime. Sarah, she has 2 co-parenting relationships, and I guess it's working out for her. So if it works for Wiley, Sarah Elwood, and Cheryl Wiley, yeah, this is Chelsea Wiley. Okay, good for you guys. It worked out for you guys. But you guys have the younger kids, very young kids. So yeah, come back in 10 years and tell us how it went. But anyway, sometimes, yes, we need to know how to date correctly. So a lot of things we'll be able to, weed out and deal with before we get into marriage, and then kids come along, and that's when you're discovering, hey, we have different parenting styles. Oh, this person don't like my daughter, they don't like my son. Oh, we have different come on. Yeah, we need to date. Know how to date correctly. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.